I'm gonna keep it real, guys. We have a crazy strong double reveal coming up with the release of the Aphmau event and Aphmau's banner with her 35 CP and Lion's EX and level 70 rework. So there's a lot to talk about amongst these two. And yeah, it's gonna be some really spicy stuff. So Aphmau came out, but we're actually gonna start off with Lion. Since she is the EX, but she's not the main person on the banner, so we'll save Aphmau for last. So basically what Lion got was just new versions of her abilities. So when using Sneak Attack or Powder Keg, when you use them, if you actually do connect on an enemy that is not targeting her, it will then turn into Sneak Attack and Powder Keg Hide, which do pretty much just more damage. Powder Keg Hide gets access to Overflow. The base version does not, which is only 120%. Sneak Attack base has 120% Overflow, and the Hide version has 150. While in the Hide versions, the bonus damage will be active at all times. So, for example, say you're fighting a boss that uses a lot of pesky all attacks. What it'll do is since they're using an all attack and she's being targeted with that all attack, usually her bonus damage would disappear. It will not. You will actually be able to get her bonus damage as well as hit a little harder on top of everything else that the Hide provides. The only thing that does suck is that they do revert back to their usual forms after being used. So you kind of have to keep resetting them up over and over, which is fine. Her EX ability is a Dispeller. It is a 4-hit AoE single target HP attack. So it'll hit everything, but it'll only hit one target. And it dispels. And what's really neat about this is if your previous turn was taken by either Lion or a team member, the way it works is she will then follow up after the EX with another 4-hit attack, which is really cool. So it's like it has a lot of great damage abilities and can set up for some sneaky plays. Works really good alongside Realm. Someone who guarantees a slot after the enemy attacks. And that's pretty much it. She did get her C level 65. It's called Sneak Thrust, which is a 2-hit single target HP attack, which is pretty cool to have that in a C65. And it'll grant access to her hide abilities automatically, as well as, doing like the usual stuff that Lion works with. So Lion got a lot of crazy stuff, being able to dispel with her EX and having the ability to, do lots of damage and tons of damage and everything is really nice and really neat. The Max Brave down and the Powder Keg and whatnot, and her Max Brave up. She's got a lot of great things going for herself. Now, how does she fare for early early Chaos? She can fare fairly well, and honest to God. She can do fairly well, and being a DPS with a very good damage output that can dispel is something that you could really look forward to using on your team. So they get those pesky buffs going. She can just knock them right off. Her EX has a normal recast speed at max limit break, so you'll be seeing it quite often, and you'll be able to get to use it quite often. She hits hard. She does good damage. That's pretty much that. The dispelling is nice, but it's not as frequent as using it with her regular abilities. But it's still there, and it's still nice to have. And that right there, I feel like puts her just a little bit above other DPS units in terms of importance. So you can get some good use out of her, and being that she is unfortunately one of the cursed 6, it's a blessing and a curse, because you can really increase the amount of powder kegs that you get, because she only has a base of 4 even after her 5 after her rework. Sorry. So you really have to get those artifacts going on her to really get her to shine and really get the best out of her. Attack up artifacts as well as her her Curse 6 artifacts to get her going to the best of her ability. As a future investment, she's incredible. She does get an EX plus alongside Aphmau when Aphmau does return with her Lost Chapters. So really, really good character. Really, really powerful. Really, really strong. Definitely a good choice in terms of early chaos stuff, because the dispelling can help you out a ton. You do need to support her, though. You do need to make sure that you bring someone who can protect her just a little bit, like Warrior of Light. You know, buff up her attack, buff up her, buff up some bravery gen and stuff. So as long as you can support her, fine. She'll do some good damage for you. She'll do some good things for you. So for some early chaos, I definitely think so that she can find a spot. And as a future investment, she definitely improves very greatly with her EX Plus in the future. Now on to Aphmau. I'm going to put this out there right now. If you have been watching my channel for a long time, you know I'm awful with names and remembering things. This is not any different. Aphmau has 4 frame buffs. I don't remember the names. I don't remember the proper statistics because it's just so much. But pretty much the only thing that she doesn't raise is Initial Brave. She had two of them are party buffs, while the other 2 are only for her. Excuse me, only for her. Which is really nice. So she's raising her own attack, raising her own max brave. She's offering a little bit of that to the party. You know, some defense up, some bravery gen and things like that. Really nice and, you know, pretty good for, you know, a character such as herself who does boast high damage. Her Shield Subverter does raise her max brave by, I believe it was 30% before the attack. Follows up with 2 hits, has 150% overflow, and gives her one of those, one of the frame buffs that she gets. Each of her abilities will give her a frame buff, will increase the amount of stacks. And the great thing is she starts off with 2 of them as long as she is buffed. So if someone goes before her and applies a party buff, she will get access to her Brave Attack Plus and her HP Attack Plus, which will then provide the other buffs that she can continue to use. And here's the kicker. Her Brave Attack Plus will actually deal HP damage as long as you meet a certain Brave threshold, which is really, really nice. Her second ability is a 6-hit magical elemental attack, I believe. A 6-hit magical, non-elemental, single target HP attack, 150% overflow, 300% damage, 300% brave damage potency, and it offers her one of those frame buffs. So it's actually fairly simple. It's what Aphmau offers is a bunch of frame buffs, you know, that obviously can't be dispelled unless they have like something to actually knock all that off. They're not getting rid of them. And I forget what her C65 does specifically. You know what? Let's go find out. I have an idea. Crystal Strength. Scroll all the way down. Don't mind all those characters, by the way. C65. Here we go. Here we go. So it slightly raises her own int brave, so she does have a means of actually raising her int brave. And it restores, it extends all of her buffs by 2 turns, and the allies automaton and fine tuning buffs by 1 turn. So really, really nice. You know, that's really, really cool stuff. Like I said, don't mind those characters. I'm very lazy with farming. Very lazy of getting them up and whatnot. But, you know, that is a lot of great stuff that she offers to the party in a bunch of different frame buffs and whatnot. Now, how does she fare for early chaos? Being that she is only a 35 CP character, surprisingly, guys, she handles really well. Being able to have frame buffs that cannot be pushed off is really good, especially against going something that applies a lot of debuffs. And the fact that she offers all of that to the party that cannot be knocked off, and she has crazy good longevity. Even though she is only a 35 CP character, she has crazy good longevity. The only thing that does suck is that you have to properly manage those buffs. You have to make sure you're managing those buffs properly, and making sure they're not going away. Because if they go away for a turn, you know, you're losing out on what Aphmau can really offer. But it makes up for the fact that all of her attacks do HP damage, including her Brave attack. which is incredible. She has super good longevity. She offers so much to the party. She offers a lot to herself. She boasts a really high max brave and attack stat, surprisingly enough. So for early chaos, she can actually do the job. You can bring her alongside of someone that, you know, can offer even more to the party in the ways of buffs and everything. The only thing is you have to be careful with bringing along characters that offer a ton of buffs versus someone who fits like all of that stuff in like a singular buff. Only because since she does put out 4 frame buffs, there's only so many more buffs that she can take before she gets capped out. So she will be pushing off other buffs. So she works very good alongside aura-based characters and very good alongside characters that offer another form of a frame buff that stacks some things into just 1 frame buff. That's how she works best. So early chaos, it's a definite thumbs up for me. She's our first 35 CP character that will actually handle that super well. And then when she does return with her EX Plus, it just exemplifies everything that she can do, and gives her a crazy good EX Plus that I'm not too quite sure what it does. Didn't really look into it all that much, besides like what it does for her abilities and everything. And it does a lot of great things. It does a lot of great things. She does more hits, more damage. The effects just do more things, and she becomes a great future investment. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, this is a really hard banner to pass. It's very hard for me. Trust me, it is. But I am passing on it, as I've said before. But I would not blame you guys at all if you guys decided to pull on this banner. This banner is very, 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 very good. Prish, unfortunately, is not that great at the moment, and especially since she doesn't have her EX available. So obviously the main prizes are Aphmau and Lion. So I wish you the best of luck if you do decide to pull. They are both fantastic characters that can aid you and can do you well. And they're both fantastic future investments. They pretty much upon this point, they're gonna get knocked off onto the bench pretty soon. Probably in about maybe 2 months time, because we're gonna be getting our first chaoses next month. So I feel like they'll fall off like December time. But honestly, when they return with their EX pluses and stuff, they'll be able to hold the spot of their own. And as I've been saying, anytime anyone gets an EX plus, they're useful the entire time. Like, there's not a single character that falls off of the EX plus era. They can all be used still. So, yeah, take that as it is. I wish you guys the best of luck pulling for Lion and Aphmau. And if you're not even aiming for Lion, don't forget you can pull Aphmau with the weapon tokens. You could save your resources if you choose to, because we do get a free copy of her 15 CP. So she's cost efficient to build right now. She's going to be our last 35 CP character going forward. So keep that in mind as we go forward. But if you do not want Lion at all, you just want Aphmau, you can just scoop her up with weapon tokens and save your stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you do pull, good luck, guys. I wish you the best. And, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.